there are a lot of black, not a lot, but there are black people calling themselves the original Jews, black Jews. What do you think of that? Like the Hebrew Israelite, I think, and some other folks out there. What do you think of all that?
I think these people should do stand-up comedy. And I think that when we say we're the original Hebrew, first of all, everywhere we see Judaism being practiced, it's being taught by white people. And yes, we're going to put the skin tone in it. Blacks, this is not part of our culture. Everyone know we are tribal people from the jungle, no shoes on, and they skirts, leaf skirts on, and with the bones and the noses, and this is where we come from. So we need to embrace that. We look at movie, that is what our people come from. We are people from the jungle. We say that we are tribal people. When the pilgrims came to this land, they had shoes on, hats on, a lot of clothes on, and we wanted to dress up. We looked at our feet and we said, hey, maybe it would be a good idea, to put shoes on. We wanted to copy off the pilgrims' culture because in our mind, it made sense to us. We had bow and arrows. He had a rifle. And if you can't beat them, you can learn from them, right?
Yeah.
So the pilgrim came over here. He had a brew pot. He's on the oatmeal box for a reason because he taught us with his witch pot, his brew pot. He was brewing up the oatmeal. That wasn't magic elixirs, right? He was brewing up a bunch of stuff and grits and all of this stuff. The pilgrim was building roads and all of that. And what happened was a lot of the children from the jungle, when they saw the pilgrim children dressed up in, heels, shoes, forging metals, technological, we left the jungle. Our children, up on the chief such and such, Chief Big Hawk, whatever, the chiefs couldn't keep the children from assimilating into the pilgrim's culture because, in my opinion, the children of the tribes thought that this life was better. And slowly but surely, all of our people left the jungle and assimilated into the colonies. And now when you go to the jungle, you can see our ruins and temples that we left. But we cannot act like we were always pilgrims. This was taught to us. And it's okay if you admire Jewish culture, pilgrim culture, Hebrew culture, and you want to assimilate in it and practice it. Then just say that. But to claim it as yours is something that Black people do too often. We want to be the first Hebrews. We want to be the first Moors. We want to be the first everything. And I just don't think that's realistic. I think it's childish.
Amazing. So now I understand. I grew up in Alabama on a plantation, and I used to hate wearing shoes. And even outdoors, I would go without wearing my shoes. And I remember going up to Indiana once to stay for a minute. And I was walking up and down the street with no shoes on because I hated wearing shoes. And so my uncle caught me with no shoes. And he's like, boy, get your A back in that house and put on some shoes. I bet I never see you walking the street with no shoes. Now I understand where that came from. I didn't know it was from the jungle.
Right. Yeah, that's from our jungle ancestors. And that's why we like to get, And so, if you look at our people today, we wear less clothes today. If our women wear less clothes, the men like to wear, so that's part of our jungle culture too. So, I just think it's kind of crazy to claim that we're the original Hebrews. When everything about Judaic customs, traditions has been taught to us by white rabbis. I even put up a picture. Now, in the documentary Hebrews to Negro, the claim is that the Black Jews originate in Africa. Now, Jesse, when you go and see what's happening in Africa, there are white rabbis and white missionaries over there teaching them guys how to wear a tefillin, how to tie a tie. What are the Jewish customs and traditions? If we are the original Jews, we should be teaching them, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.